Hey guys, Matt from Soundrolling.com here to try and help you record better sound and save seconds on set because they save hours in post. The whole idea today is to talk about this aluminium bar. Seems rather bizarre, but it actually turns your Orca harness into kind of a better back support. Having used the Orca and its OR40, using that harness, it's good, but after a while, especially with slightly heavier bags, you kind of feel this roll of the shoulders, especially after a couple of years. It's good that they finally brought this out, so I'm just going to kind of demo and show you how to set it up. Okay, so this is the bar itself, and there's obviously little points here where they actually come apart completely as two different pieces, and then you can kind of screw these little screws in where you need to kind of make it work. Word of warning though, be careful which ones you use. Be careful with them and probably use a flat head. I try to use a tinier kind of crosshair, and it just ate it straight up. It didn't with the other one for some reason, so I don't know why that is, but yeah, just a word of warning for that. And so now comes the part of putting it in. Essentially, your Orca harness has already got places to put it in. Essentially, we're going down this little gap here. Now, this is very tough to get in. I have to kind of be honest. The trick is kind of getting it down a stitched line to around where it kind of stops here. So you're going from this side all the way down to about there. So essentially, you're just gonna put it inside, and then I just basically wiggle and force it. It's obviously meant to be quite tight, but I think they could put a little bit of give in it. So, okay, we pretty much got there. I mean, they are sending me these things to test, so I would say that you should at least try and kind of at least file off a kind of rough edge, especially for the bottom one. On the video that was on beforehand, they didn't have these kind of grey-black grippers on, so I tried to take them off because I thought that they were just kind of protective, but they're kind of glued on. So I think actually if you removed these, at least for the bottom bit, then it would be a lot easier to get in. And maybe just think about kind of filing like a little bit of a wedge, and maybe make it slightly thinner. Just at the start, just to get that first little bit in, even if you have the gripper on the end. Then the next part is super easy. It's essentially, this is where the bag bit is. You're going underneath here and jam that in, but essentially just up here. And this one is a lot easier, thank God. I don't think at the moment you could put this on in a rush, but you could definitely for the top. There we go, that's it. And then all you would do is obviously make this strap as tight as you normally would, but obviously, so it's just holding that bar in place. Overall, in terms of outcome, kind of very happy with the improvements. It means that anytime this is pulling forward, I feel it on my back instead of my shoulders. So that's obviously a much better distribution of weight. In terms of usability, if I was to have this permanently kind of on, I wouldn't be able to really fit the harness in the bag. I have to do a bit of jigging around, and just because that bottom section is so hard to get into, I think mainly because they added this extra gripper, unlike in the video that they did kind of first showing it. It looked tough, but because it was kind of smooth, it went in a lot easier. So at least consider taking off kind of the plastic bit of one side. So otherwise, yeah, so it's basically, it's one of those things of, yeah, you would be able to fit it in your bag if it was separate. So I would basically absolutely love and use this if it was just easier to get that bottom section in. Because otherwise, pretty much every day, I'm spending like 2-3 minutes just trying to jam in that lower part. But I know in the long run, it's going to kind of save my back. Still going to tweak around in terms of just overall weight distribution, but that's kind of my first look at the, I forget the complicated name that it has, but basically the spare part that's the bar, aluminium bar for the OR40. So this is what YouTube thinks is the next best video for you to watch, and you can always subscribe, of course. And there's loads of kind of tips and tricks that I'm trying to do, just basically sharing my journey every day. I'm going to try and be more regular on the uploads in terms of about 9 p.m. GMT, so stay tuned for that as well. But otherwise, get down in those comments below, let me know what you think, and I will see you later.